Let me say that about 2 weeks ago I read where Mr. Lhota had said he wanted to talk to everyone in the city, including me, and I felt that was a healthy thing to say. Obviously, we have different political party affiliations and have different views, but I've always believed that you can disagree without being disagreeable, and that the tone of how the city is established is as important as anything else. The Brooklyn chapter of National Action Network had invited all of the candidates tonight that had won primaries to the rally. And at the same time, Mr. Lhota had reached out to let me know he was going. I told him I thought that it would be better we have the conversation I read about in the paper alone, and I invited him here to have our conversation, and he's agreed now he's going to come to a National Action Network gathering and talk to members and people in the community. I would certainly want to do that. I would host that, and other candidates and forum, because I think we need to talk about issues across the city. I'm sure, as he and I have talked, we're not going to agree on everything. We've had some discussion tonight about stop and frisk where we're not going to agree on other things, and there are going to be areas that we may agree. And other parts of the city, he's going to find the same thing. But I would hope that this fall campaign is around issues and policies of all New Yorkers to look for solutions and to look for how we make it a better city. And whoever wins or loses at the end of it, that we are not dealing with venom, but we're dealing with the future of the city. And that's what we've agreed to go forward and move forward. Mr. Lhota.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Sharpton. I'm glad to be here at the National Action Network and meeting with the Reverend Sharpton and the other leaders of National Action Network as well. I came here because, as I said all throughout the campaign, I want to be the mayor of all New Yorkers. And in the process of doing that, I need to talk to all New Yorkers. I need to listen to them. I need to go to all communities. I need to talk about my vision for the city and where I would like to take it, how we deal with issues of education, of public safety, how we deal with other issues as well, like affordable housing and how the city needs to be much more affordable. These are parts of the conversations that I've just had with the Reverend Sharpton. This is the first of many discussions that I hope I have with him. I believe in an open door policy. I believe mayors should communicate with all of New York. I will do it during the campaign, and I will continue doing it, God willing, I'm elected. Thanks.
Just for the record, attending the meeting also was our chairman, Reverend W. Franklin Richardson, and our executive vice president, attorney Michael Harlem.
Reverend, can we ask you, there's been much made about that Joe Lhota used to work for Rudy Giuliani. How different is this than those years?
I mean, you know, I don't want to get into a comparison of anybody. Obviously, Mr. Lhota worked with Mr. Giuliani. I'm not here to take shots at his, he's got a campaign, and I'm not going to make him leave here and have to explain anything, and he's not doing that to me, so I'm not going to get into that. Everyone knows my views on Mr. Giuliani and his on me.
But Reverend, not personalities. I mean, Mayor Giuliani represented a lot of different viewpoints.
But the last mayor of this city, Mayor Bloomberg, who I've disagreed with on something, has for 12 years come here on Martin Luther King Day, including this year after we marched on his house on Stop and Frisk. He still was here in January, and I think that was healthy.
So it's a new day.
I can't remember beyond 12 years. I'm getting old.
Mr. Lhota, can you talk about your decision to come here after your former boss resigned?
Y'all work together.
Yeah, they all do. Look, let me be very clear about this. Throughout my entire primary process, members of the public, members of the press wanted to know, really, all the time, two questions. Would I be the third term of Rudy Giuliani, or would I be the fourth term of Mike Bloomberg? It'll be neither. It'll be the first term of Joe Lhota. We're all different. All mayors are different from each other consistently since at least 1898 when we unified the city. And I will be different from all the other mayors as well. Joe Lhota is going to be the Joe Lhota that you all known when I was in City Hall. I talked to everybody. I kept an open door policy. If there was a problem in the city, I felt it was my job to find a solution to it, to negotiate a solution. I don't think that there's a problem that's not negotiable. That's my overall view on life. I will take that with me into City Hall as well. I'm here because dialogue is needed in the City of New York. I've said over and over again, we need to unify the City of New York. We need to move forward together. And that is why I've asked for this meeting and various other meetings that I've had here in Harlem and in other parts of the city.
Did you ask Reverend Sharpton for any endorsement?
No, I did not ask him for any endorsement.
Reverend Sharpton, are you about to provide any endorsement of any candidate?
Not tonight, no. We didn't talk about endorsement, we talked about the city. This is not about endorsement. Again, there are issues that we agree and disagree, and he's agreed to come in front of forums to talk to members of my group and other groups, and I think that you would not make endorsements before you hear what people have to say. We met 25 minutes. I don't think he thought we were going to come out here and say something like that.
What did you talk about besides Dr. Chris?
His wife went to seminary. We talked about the Lord. Because we knew the press was outside. We needed prayer.
Any other topics of education, NYCHA, some of the...
Education, NYCHA, stop and frisk. Their agreement and disagreement on many issues, but we'll wait on the phone.
What did you talk about in Stop and Frisk?
We talked about stop and frisk. Next.
Did you offer...
Mr. Lhota has said that the Tale of Two Cities message of Mr. Blasio is divisive. He's called invective that does not belong in a campaign. Do you agree with that?
I think that we should deal with that at a public forum where he can discuss that with the public and state how and what context he says it in. He did mention it to me. Certainly, I believe that there are some serious divisions in the city, and he explained his position, I explained mine. But again, I think he and Mr. de Blasio need to have the opportunity to explain that. Our community must be treated like adults, where we can hear from everybody and make our decisions. Nobody should deliver anybody. People should be responsible enough to talk to everybody in the city and let people make their decisions. And that's one of the things I'm committed to.
Reverend, do you think you've learned anything new about Joe Lhota's positions, or Mr. Lhota, do you think you've considered anything
I
new?
didn't know his wife went to seminary.
But in terms of policies, do you feel like you understand him in a way that you didn't before this meeting?
I think that I understand he's willing to defend and to say what he believes in front of any audience in the city, even though he knows it may be an audience that doesn't agree with him. I think that's a good opening.
Mr. Lhota, do you think having a meeting like this will change your opinion about anything?
I'm sorry.
Do you think having a meeting with Sharpton, now that you've met face to face, that you've reconsidered any of your positions, or that you've taken something into account that you may not have before?
This is the first of many meetings that I'll have with the Reverend Sharpton and other folks at the National Action Network. We talked about a lot of issues, explaining his positions, my positions, and all of that. There's common ground there. There's room there for understanding and agreement. We need to move forward. We did spend an enormous amount of time talking about the education of our children. It is paramount that we make sure that our children get the best possible education. We agree on that goal. How we get there, we may disagree, but that goal of making sure that our children get the best possible education is the most important.
Reverend Sharpton, how would you characterize this meeting?
I thought it was cordial and candid. He's running for mayor. I'm already the president here. That'll be the last question. Thank you.
Thank you.